Alright everybody, hello and welcome. As always, I'm Sean. This is In The Mix, episode 199, the penultimate episode of our Isle of Man series and our journey in Football Manager 2020 as well. We have a huge Champions League semi-final tie against Bayern Munich, which is going to be the main topic of today's episode. And of course, we're going to kind of look back as we go through it as well and reflect on how far we've come from starting the series with no players at all to be now on the cusp of getting to our our third Champions League final? I'll have to check in a moment. Just ridiculous stuff. We've already got an FA Cup final book for tomorrow's final episode. We've got the final games of the Premier Division season as well to come, hopefully, to secure a Premier Division title. Hopefully we can make it a Champions League final in tomorrow's episode as well. Let's not waste too much time. Let's jump in and see how we've gotten on. So, first and foremost, as you guys can see, just up above me, sitting pretty at the top of the table, 34 games played, 22 wins, 10 draws, 2 defeats, plus 54 goal difference, and 76 points sits FC Isle of Man. We are now 3 points clear of Manchester City in second spot. They had a draw last time out against Arsenal in their match. Arsenal did take a lead, and I think missed a penalty late on. It could have been an even better result for us. And we have turned around the goal difference as well to go above them on 54. So if it does come down to level points, we do kind of maintain that positive structure there. In our one game that we played off screen, of course, yesterday's episode, if you haven't gone and watched it, where we unboxed this fantastic kit that I'm actually wearing at the moment. We beat Chelsea 4-2 in the FA Cup semi-final, Wolves 6-0 in the Premier Division, and then we beat Fulham 4-2 in the Premier League as well. Very late goals. We scored the opener in the 64th minute and then scored two within 2 minutes. They pulled one back 3 minutes later. They drew 2-2 3 minutes after that. We scored the minute following, and then Santana got a late goal in the 95th minute. Very, very hectic period of goals there between the 64th and 73rd minutes. That 7-minute period is just my heart. I thought it might pop out my chest for a period there, but we got through it. We got the 3 points. We allowed City to drop their points. Hopefully we can get some good results in the run home as well and continue our good form in the league itself. We have got a game against Burnley in the Premier Division. We're not going to bring you that one in today's episode, but we will give you that result once we get to the second leg against Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich, of course, still a huge side as far as the Bundesliga, as far as the overall football is concerned. They haven't won that much. We haven't played them previously, as you can see there. But if we look at their history, they actually dropped off for a little bit where Schalke was winning consecutive Bundesliga titles, including last season where Schalke won it again. They've won 4 of the last 5. Bayern Munich did win 1 2 seasons ago. They are currently top of the Bundesliga as well, as things currently stand. 4 points clear with a couple of games remaining in that competition. So they could go into our fixture as, or in our second leg, I guess, as Bundesliga champions if results go their way. I think that's only a 34-game season in the Bundesliga. Does that sound right? 17 other teams that you play twice, 34 games? I don't know. Math is tough. But still an incredibly strong squad that they've got. You look at their wage budget, like they're paying this guy, Oguzhan Sen, $575k a week, which was ridiculous. We've only just this season pushed our wage budget the highest it's ever been by getting some people to 300k, which wouldn't even get in the top 5 of their highest paid players. They've got a couple of players that might be familiar to you. Frank Richard, of course, we sold to them this most recent off-season. Did well for us, but was only ever really a bit part player. We stopped using wingers and moved to inverted wingers, and now an advanced playmaker on the left as well, which just didn't really suit keeping him around. But he was good for us. He was a wonderful squad player over a variety of seasons, chipping in with decent performances, a good amount of goals and assists in limited appearances each year. But he has gone to another level, his highest average rated rating in senior football or in top division football so far, 26 appearances, 4 goals for Bayern Munich. Doesn't look like he's in their starting lineup as far as their preferred formation is concerned. They've got an older squad as well. Quite a few guys sitting around, above the age of 27. But they've got quite a few elite players as well. You can see they've got 3 elite centre-backs, an elite full-back, an elite midfielder, 2 elite strikers, 3 elite wingers. No world-class players, no wonder kids or anything like that, but a very, very strong core. All of those players pretty much starting at the moment. Looks like one of the defenders is out of the lineup, but I think that's just due to the depth that they've got. It should make for an interesting tie and an interesting fixture. As far as we're concerned, we've only got a couple of knocks that we have to worry about. Mancini has a bit of a knock, but I'm going to try and get him through this game. Esteban's still out injured. The Pooch is going to come back in, so we're going to get him back in the lineup. He will play as the covering defender, Gazmi as the forward. And Alejandro Temperini, not quite back yet. Still another 2 weeks to go. Maybe we can get him on the bench for the second leg if things go according to plan. But otherwise, it's a pretty strong lineup. I'm not too disappointed. We've got good depth at the moment, and hopefully everyone is back into full fitness and ready to go for this final push in the Champions League. So looking at the two lineups for this first leg, they are playing with a 4-2-3-1 because, say it with me, every big club in FM20 plays a 4-2-3-1. It just happens once you get to a certain point down the track in certain seasons. Oguzhan Sen, who we spoke about in the build-up, he's their highest paid player, one of the highest paid players in the world, it must be said. And he looks very good. 27-year-old German international, 23 goals in 44 caps for the German national side, which is a tough national team to get in. 124 in 262 league appearances for Bayern Munich. Was it Norwich for a season, it looks like, on loan? Way back in the day when he was first getting started at Bayern Munich, but he's come through their academy. He's been with that squad pretty much the entire way through. Looks very good. Has some very good technical attributes, very good mental attributes, good flair, good determination, good composure, good off-the-ball movement, good physical attributes as well, but pretty consistent with what you expect from a lot of the players at these big teams. Big boy though, 196 centimetres, 88 kilos. Can do a bit of everything. He's going to play as an advanced forward, it looks like. He could potentially, I think, be like a target man as well, looking at some of those physical traits. 4.5-star current and potential ability. He will be a handful, leading the line up top. In midfield, Ignacio Fernandez, a player that we looked at forever ago, back when he was a wonder kid, eventually turned into a 5-star current and potential ability player. Around the same time that we were looking at Arnaud Henry, when he was like 16, 17, coming through PSG's academy, we were looking at Fernandez to try and bring him across from Vélez over in Argentina. We didn't in the end. He went for a £6 million to Tottenham. Main reason we couldn't get him is we just couldn't pay his wages. I think they were about to pay him like 50k a week, and we weren't able to do that at that particular point, the 2029-2030 season, 11 seasons ago, as far as the save is concerned, quite a while back. He went to Bayern Munich a few seasons after, and he's been there since. He's a very, very good player and anchors the midfield, not just for Bayern Munich, but for the Argentine national side as well. Vladimir might be a familiar name to you. Previously played at Liverpool when he was in the Premier Division. 4-star current and potential ability for the 29-year-old Brazilian ball-playing defender. Very good prospect, an elite centre-back. There's not that many out there in the world, and he's one of them. Corzo is getting the nod as the other centre-back. 2.5-star current and 3-star potential ability, 25-year-old Argentine. There's a few in their lineup. Looks okay. Nothing super spectacular. Again, spent a period at Norwich. I'm guessing that's a loan spell. No, they actually owned him for a little bit. And he played in the Premier Division and the Championship. Then went to Lazio for a season in Serie A and has now gone to Germany with Bayern Munich, where he struggled to make a few appearances. So I wonder who the player is that they've left out. Frank Richard is on the bench. We'll keep an eye on for that one. But our side, we're going with Mancini in goal. He's got a bit of a knock we have to be wary of. The Pooch and Gazmi is the defensive partnership with Esteban out injured. Carlos Andre wears the captain's armband at left wing back. Lucas Gabriel at right wing back. Henry anchors midfield alongside Santana, which have both of them been playing pretty well over the last month or so, it must be said. Cisse is the advanced playmaker on the left. Blaze is the inverted winger on the right, our highest average rated player for the season. Balde, I'm going to give the nod as the deep lying forward alongside Olsen. I want to try and get them back to full fitness. That when we started the season and we're off to a really good start, they were both flying and they were both doing fantastically well. So we want to try and get them both back to full fitness, but that's very harsh on Martinez, who I think has been excellent over the last few games. Bailed us out against Barcelona, bailed us out against Fulham during the week as well. He will come on if things aren't going according to plan. You can mark my words on that one. But it's a strong lineup. We've got good depth. We are going to passionately say great opportunity to the pundits have been right to back you up. One of the reasons as well that I've stayed in our attacking mentality, I think I spoke about it before yesterday's episode or during yesterday's episode, is that we were going to go positive, play a little bit deeper, try and invite them onto us and exploit the space in behind. If we had Esteban fully fit, if we had Temperini fully fit, if we had Mancini without a knock, I probably would have done that. Just because I've got a bit more faith in their defensive capabilities. Because we are a couple of players short in key areas, we're going to go attacking. We're going to try and outscore them in this first leg. And away goals, as we know, super, super critical as far as two-legged ties are concerned. We're also going to keep an eye on the other fixture as well. Inter Milan playing Atletico Madrid. We have played Inter in the group stage already this season. They are very, very good. They tore apart a very strong Manchester City side in the previous tie. First 20 minutes, no highlights for either side. It looks like Bayern are a little bit frustrated in some of the feedback that they're getting. Ball forward here to Gazmi. Looks for a long one forward. Olsen is there, but it's won by Corzo. Into Hujic in midfield, and a ball out left to Panico. Just stand him up, Gabriel. Don't do anything silly. Cut back ball. Good play there from Mancini. Came out well, sorted out the angles, claimed possession from the cross. What can we do now here from the counter? We've got a little bit of space on the right-hand side, so we've gone long forward towards Olsen. Corzo again with a good header. Henkel to Vladimir. All the way back to Stewart. Don't both go to the ball. They've both committed, and it's left us a little bit short. Bayern should play out. And a long ball over the top here from Sen. First, we're seeing from him getting goal side. Right footed strike, not his favoured right foot. Just drove it well beyond the far post. Looks like Carlos Andres also picked up a knock, in addition to the one Mancini's got. So there's a little bit of stuff going on, even though we aren't seeing that many highlights. We're going to hit demand more with about 10 minutes remaining in the first half. No highlights as yet to speak of from us. And a throw in here deep on the left-hand side for Bayern. Cisse with a good press. Fernandez to Henkel. Now Posso. Ball over the top for Sen. This is, I think, their strategy, trying to get him goal side. They're playing very, very deep and hoping that we'll press up onto them to get him in 1v1 situations in behind. Fernandez from the corner. Ball back stick, Sen with the run, but thankfully the header always ballooning over the crossbar. We might have to make the adjustment to positive. I think the way that they're setting up, playing a bit deep and trying to drag us out, it's not necessarily favouring our attacking style and us pressing them that high up the pitch. We might go to positive in the second half, depending on how this highlight here plays out. Fernandez in possession. Again, he's just sitting base of midfield, looking to put balls in behind for Sen again and again. He's got it here again, right-hand side. Cut back to Posso. First real support that we've seen get in the box. A couple of bodies in there for them. Fernandez, edge of the area. Rosenberg, out now to Pereira, overlapping fullback. They've committed men forward if we can win this back. Ball into Mancini. If we get this to Blaze quickly on the right-hand side, he is goal side. We've taken too much time. The fullback's allowed to get back. Long ball forward to Cisse, though. Into Henri. It's a poor effort, though. Sen's going to get the chance to go forward here for Bayern. Again, he's pulled wide. Pooch stays with him quite well. Cut back ball, back stick to Posso. And it's a poor header. I don't know what Mancini's done there. It wasn't a good effort, it must be said. Crashes in off the crossbar. Maybe it's just gotten into like that weird pocket of space between the keeper's arm and the crossbar itself where it's hard to get up to. Sen does quite well. Pooch did tackle him once, but he stayed on his feet. Ball back stick to Posso. It's not a good effort. And Mancini's just done the old, like, what is that, a volleyball set? Like, what are you trying to do, mate? Not even facing the right direction. And maybe that's the knock coming into it. He has got a knock and we are trying to ask him to play through it. So at half-time, 1-0 up for Bayern Munich. And to be honest, we've not had a highlight yet. So let's aggressively say, expect to see a much better showing from you. Everyone seems fired up, which is good. Tactically, we're going to make that adjustment, drop back to positive, play a little bit deeper, invite them onto us a little bit more. Maybe if we take that ball over the top for Sen, that they've been playing quite a bit, it'll be a bit more of a struggle for them. Do I want to make any half-time subs, though? Carlos Andre's got a knock and is playing very poorly. So I think we're going to bring on Medjugorje, which isn't ideal. The rest, we're going to give the chance to... Actually, you know what? Let's do it. Let's roll the dice. Let's go down swinging in this first tie. We're going to bring on Martinez as well. I was umming and ahhing about that selection and who was going to play as the front two for ages. Risky to make 2 subs at half-time. It's going to put us in a difficult position if things don't turn around in the match itself. But I will feel better having given those players additional time to get settled in the match. And we've got a wide free kick. Blaze towards back post. Sierk, the Bayern Munich custodian, comes out and claims quite well. And he's gone a long ball forward towards Panico. Henri's there with him, just stand him up. Now Pereira trying to join in, overlapping fullback. Rosenberg, switch out to Posso, wide right area. The goal scorer from earlier. Medjugorje manages to clear. Fernandez is going to get the ball back at the base of the Bayern midfield. Pereira, back to Fernandez. Switch out towards Posso on the right-hand side. Now Henkel. Starting to get men forward. Posso's gotten goal side of Medjugorje. Looks for the cutback back stick and Panico puts it back across the keeper. It's a poor effort. 19th goal of the season for him. And Medjugorje again getting beaten on that side. Maybe they're just quite strong on their right-hand side and that's why Carlos Andre was struggling because Medjugorje again has allowed him to get goal side and then not caught up with him and not covered the angle for the cross. He's run off towards the middle for whatever reason. And Panico gets a free header far post back across the goalkeeper. Can't blame Mancini for that one. What can we do here? Tactically, let's pause. Let's go back attacking. Let's jump back on the pitch. They've got a deep free kick, which we're now not going to see. But we're going to use a get creative shout. I'm going to hold off on that last sub for the last 10 minutes or so. Deep throw in here on the the right-hand side for Bayern Munich, our left-hand side. Vladimir into Fernandez. Switch has gone to Blaze and he's found Max Olsen and he's slid a ball home. It's a consolation goal at best on 70 minutes, but maybe that one away goal is absolutely huge for us. Fernandez with a really poor pass. Uncharacteristic. He's been good throughout the course of this game, it must be said. The switch cut out by Blaze. Good header into a pocket of space. Olsen stays onside just barely and slides that one near post with his first real chance of the game. Do we maybe want to try and make one more sub? So I've hit pause. We've got Lucas Gabriel also struggling. Yilmaz will come on the right-hand side. Cisse's not playing particularly well either. Mancini's still got that knock as well. Let's just try and damage limitation. Let's go with the defensive sub first. Let's also use another get creative shout, which everyone seems inspired by. They have got a throw in though, left-hand side. Henkel, deep ball towards Panico, back stick, and Jesus, he really could have put that into either of the corners. No one was near him. Thankfully, he just screws it beyond the near post. 10 minutes remain in the match. We can use one more demand more shout. And now Cisse's picked up an injury. We are going to finish the match with 10 men, which is quite frustrating. What are we going to do? Do we want to stay on positive? Yeah, screw it. Let's stay on positive. The Messiah naturally moves left-hand side, and Medjugorje will get forward as the attacking wing-back. 2-1 doesn't kill us dead in the water. 5 minutes of additional time to be added on, though, at the end of this one, which we're through now. And the referee calls full time. We finished the game with 10 men, but thankfully we got that away goal, which could prove huge in the overall contest itself. 16 shots, 6 on target, 50% possession for Bayern Munich. 11 shots, 5 on target, 50% of the ball for the Isle of Man. I'm going to say one of those days, and at least everyone's responded positively. We're going to keep morale up as much as possible. Reactions are positive as well, which is good to see. In the other game, Atletico Madrid took a lead against Inter Milan away from home. Very interesting. I would have thought Inter probably the favourites in that tie. Oscar Pozo, the goal scorer, gets an 8.7 match award, a goal and an assist, I think, for him. Cisse's out 10 days to 2 weeks. That's probably going to count him out of the return leg as well, which isn't great. Carlos Andre, 5 to 8 days. That one he might be back for. Tell you what, with a walking wound at the moment, Carlos Andre, Mancini, Esteban, Cisse, Temperini, all carrying knocks and injuries. It could be a tricky fixture, this little return leg, but we've pretty much had to come from behind in all of the legs so far. It would not surprise me if the home fixture, we can go and overturn that first leg result. I'm going to give everyone a rest day. I thought about maybe picking and choosing there, but everyone's going to get a rest day before this game against Burnley. We're going to play that one off screen with a rotated lineup. We're not going to risk Cisse or Temperini or Andre or Esteban or maybe even Mancini to an extent, but magic editing. We're going to jump forward to the second leg against Bayern Munich now. Alright, and just like that, we're a week ahead. We beat Burnley 5-0. We're holding our nerve in that race. We remain 3 points clear of Manchester City, who I think are also playing a Premier League Division game today. So there is potential if they win that game, they could go above us on goal difference. But we'll see. We would have a game in hand in that scenario. So we'll see how it plays out. They are still remaining relentless and winning all their Premier Division games, which makes it tricky. It makes it a bit nervy. As far as our squad's concerned, Esteban didn't get up in time, Temperini didn't get up in time, and Cisse did not get up in time. What does make that a little bit easier is that last time out, Paul Harold actually scored a hat-trick against Burnley. So he'll come in as the advanced playmaker on the left. That's really the one change that we kind of have to make. I've left it as an advanced playmaker. We may change him to be an inverted winger, which is his preferred role if things aren't going according to plan. Carlos Andre has gotten back fit, which is fantastic. Lucas Gabriel, back fit, fantastic. Mancini, back fit, fantastic. The other change I made, Yusuf Balde struggled last time out. Martinez is going to come in. He's in fantastic form. He's scoring quite regularly. Let's get him back in the lineup. Let's get him chipping in with some key goals. He deserves a start. I know it's tough when you get into that environment where you've got a player who's actually performing really well as a sub to get them back out there and starting again, but let's start him. We've got Schaefer on the bench. We've got Balde on the bench if we need to, and they're a little bit more agile players as well, so maybe they're going to unlock tired defences. Bayern Munich, of course, playing a 4-2-3-1, the same as they did in the last game. My scouts couldn't decide if it is a balanced structure or a defensive structure. 4 scouts scouting our next opposition, because we've just got so many scouts at the moment, but 2 of them said defensive, 2 of them said balanced is what they expected. It is pretty much an unchanged lineup. They've made one change at the back. Corzo moves to left back. Their left back drops out. Niall Andrada comes in, who we played against previously back when he was at Newcastle. Made the jump to Lazio, has been at Bayern Munich now for a season. Not a terrible player by any stretch. He's an elite centre-back, but he's not as good as a lot of the others that we see. So it's a very defensive structure for them. Henkel, who played pretty well last time out, looks like he's playing a deeper role this time as well. Not necessarily bursting forward as much as he did, I think, against us. It's a much flatter back four, as you can see here. Fernandez again plays in midfield. Beska and Huic in front of him. Panico, who scored. Pozo, who scored. And Sen, their leading scorer for this season, leading the lines up top. We're going attacking. We're going after it. We're going to try and get the win. And we came from behind against Juventus. We came from behind in the second leg against Barcelona as well to go through on away goals. Surely we can do it today against Bayern Munich as well, playing the second leg at home. I think it helps quite a bit also. Passionately, we're going to say, great opportunity to show all the pundits have been right to back you up. It consistently gets good results. Fingers and toes, arms, eyes, ears, whatever you got that you can cross, go and cross them right now. And let's switch this across as well to be Champions League results. We'll keep an eye on the Atletico and Inter Milan second leg at the same time. First side of the match, ball here with Bayern Munich. Long ball forward from Andrada. Pozo with header back into midfield. Sen's come very deep, which is good. Ball over the top here for Huic, but Carlos Andre sticks with it and brings it down well under pressure. Mancini now, wait for the press to come, waits for Sen to come across. Now we've played it across to Carlos Andre, now Henry in midfield. Over to Santana, who's really worked his way back in with Temperini's injury to our starting lineup. Henry, switch out to Blaze. We've got a 2v1 on the left. He's cut back inside though, and Baumann with an excellent save pushes it around the far post. Maybe we could have worked that 2v1 to a better shooting opportunity or a better shooting angle for the lefty. Ball in here from Harold and Martinez header. Big boy in the box. He's going to be a handful from set pieces, but just over the crossbar. Corner here for Bayern. Fernandez back post and Panico's headed at home. First highlight we've seen from them. Statistically, I think the first shot that they've had. And of course, it's a set piece again. It's saying FC Isle of Man are all over the place. We're all over them. Let's look at the stats here in a second, just to stick it right back up the commentator. Panico headed back across, makes it 3-1 on aggregate. We're going to have to win this tie 2-1 if we're going to get through. First shot of the game that they've had. And it's from set piece and it's a header at the back post. and apparently we're all over the place. Fernandez again, set piece, and Andrada again with the header just over the crossbar. Let's use a demand more shout, 20 minutes into the game. Blaze skips past one challenge. He's on a yellow card though, tries to put it back in, but it's cleared by the Bayern defence. Henri will get the chance to play Lucas Gabriel in on the right-hand side. Does well to keep it in. Ball near post. Olsen locks it down for Blaze, and we've pulled one back. We've restored parity in this fixture. We need one more goal to go ahead and restore parity on the overall tie as well. Of course, 2-1 defeat, if you've already forgotten what happened earlier in the episode, in the first leg. A 2-1 victory would force us to extra time. But again, we're on an attacking instruction. We're getting good bodies in the box. We've got a good 7 people in and around the box there in that movement forward. But there is a highlight here immediately from the kickoff, which is always foreboding. But Olsen's won it back in a great area. Can he get it back on his left foot? Baumann with an excellent save. I think Olsen was just forced into striking the ball with his wrong foot. But so far, we seem relatively on top in terms of the chances, in terms of the stats that we're seeing, and in terms of the possession. We need to get creative with about 10 minutes remaining in the half. Let's try and press home this advantage before they get a chance to regroup at half-time. In the other fixture, Atletico 2-1 up in the tie, 3-1 up overall on aggregate. 2 minutes to be added on at the end of the first half, which we're through now. So at half-time, 1-1, 12 shots, 8 on target, 57% possession for the Isle of Man. 3 shots, 2 on target, 43% of the ball for Bayern Munich. Just the one highlight for Bayern, really. Passionately, we're going to say, I don't think any of you played as well as you're capable of in the first half. It's worked. I'm not sure if I 100% agree with it. Let's go and say to everyone, we think there's a lot more to come from them, just calmly, and most have now responded either happy or motivated. Come on, boys. 45 minutes to keep the treble dream alive. Surely, at home, we can push on and try and find a goal, go-ahead goal. Baumann's their highest average rated player at the moment. He just flashed up to a 7 for a split second. But we're through the hour mark now. Let's have a look at making some changes. They are suggesting that Harold's struggling. We don't have that much depth on the bench in terms of wide left positions with Cisse's injury. So let's switch him to an inverted winger on attack. Let's see if that change in role can maybe get him built up a little bit more. And I might use a specific shout for him in a moment. The same Pooch is struggling. The same Carlos Andre is down on 66% condition, which isn't ideal. Medjidou will come on for him. Up front, Martinez not playing particularly well. Maybe he's just better suited to a sub role. We're going to bring on Uli Schaefer. And just 2 subs on the hour mark. We'll hold off on that last sub for the last 30 minutes. And I'm going to hit play. And then we're going to use Old Faithful, get creative shout. And then I'm also going to try and do a specific demand more shout for Paul Harold. I don't do that often, but we're going to give him some specific feedback at the same time. And let's see if that can do the trick. Everyone seems inspired. Paul Harold now seems focused, which is good. Gabriel with the throw-in finds Blaze, who's been sitting on a yellow card for a while, immediately sets off to work to the left-hand side. Harold with the flick on finds Olsen, and we got an immediate response out of Paul Harold with that specific shout. And it's a wonderful knockdown header for him, and Olsen has restored parity in the overall tie itself. 3-3, both sides with a single away goal. We've still got to be aware of this danger from Bayern Munich. Wonderful run from Blaze, good ball over the top. Harold flicks the header on, and Olsen falls to his favoured left foot. Just gets a little pocket of space for the little advance forward, and he smashes that home for his 30th goal of the season, and potentially the most important goal that he scored so far this year. We're on top in terms of match ratings, we're on top in terms of stats, but they've got a wide free kick here. Fernandez looks back post. Vladimir with the header back across has clipped the upright. It's gone back out to Fernandez again from the rebound. Tries to cross it in. Santana does well to get across and close him down. Set pieces, man. Set piece manager, Football Manager 2020. It's sometimes referred to across Twitter in the FM community, and it's definitely proving it so far for Bayern Munich today. Pooch, ball out here to Medjidou, getting forward. They're not tracking back that well at all. And he's dragged a defender, and he's gotten to the byline, cut back towards the area. Gabriel now on the overlap on the far side. Can we get a ball back in? Backstick ball to Harold, and he's headed back across. That specific shout has pulled an assist and a go-ahead goal out of Paul Harold, his 7th goal of the season. He's in fantastic form at the moment, and our squad is just chipping in with huge performances all throughout. Martinez, Harold now, like just guys that wouldn't necessarily be in the starting lineup if everyone was fully fit and available, dragging us back into it. And with 10 minutes remaining, we've got one more sub up our sleeve, and we just have to hold on. Okay, what are we going to do? The Pooch, I'm going to leave out there. We're not going to change our defence, but Santana is on a yellow card in midfield. He's not playing badly, but that yellow card in midfield can cause us issues. So Taylor's going to come on as the Messiah. 10 minutes to go. Fresh legs in midfield. Let's keep that press up, boys. Demand more. 10 minutes remaining. Come on, boys. Come on, please. We can do this. Corner to be taken by Harold. Can he chip in with another assist? Ball in towards Blaze. It's headed back out. The Pooch is going to get another chance to reset. Reverse pass to Taylor, and he's found the finish off the bench. That's 4-1 in the tie. 4-1 in this. What am I saying? That's 4-1 here in the second leg and 5-3 overall in the tie. Surely that's it. I cannot imagine Bayern Munich the way they've played in this game getting the amount of goals that they're going to need. Harold has been absolutely magnificent. Just goes to show, if you've got a guy on a 6.3, you don't always need to take him off. Sometimes you just need to adjust what he's doing on the pitch. And he's absolutely repaid the faith. 4 additional minutes to be added on. What a comeback this has been. And Atletico Madrid smashing Inter in the other tie, which is great for us. 23 shots, 15 on target, 55% possession for the Isle of Man. 7 shots, 4 on target, 45% of the ball for Bayern Munich. Oh, holy shit. This game sometimes passionately. What a comeback that was. A superb effort. I'm proud of you all, and they have all responded fantastically well. Look at that squad morale. That is absolutely fantastic. You would expect more players to be upset with their playing time at the moment. Maybe injuries have helped us in that respect. Maybe a whole bunch of different things have kind of gone towards getting us to this position, but we get another cup final that we're going to bring you in tomorrow's final episode of the series. Atletico Madrid 4-1 winners on the day as well, 5-1 on aggregate for them. Very impressive against a very strong Inter Milan side. But we make it to a Champions League final, and the treble is back on track. Paul Harrell gets the Man of the Match award, his 2 assists and an 8.7 match rating. In 30 minutes of a game, he moved from a 6.3 to an 8.7. Absolutely ridiculous from him. Final's going to be in London, at London Stadium as well. Maybe that's a little bit of an advantage, the fact that it will be in England. And Atletico Madrid will be the opposition. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's give Harold some praise. Superb in the number and quality of chances that he has provided in that match. Lucas Gabriel was fantastic. Apparently Real Madrid scouting him. Mancini praises the halftime team talk. Firing the rocket seemed to do the trick. Just absolutely fantastic stuff. Let's clear this team out. Let's give everyone a well-deserved rest day before the game against Southampton. Now, what I think we're going to do is we're going to play the game against Southampton definitely off screen. Depending on that result and how it goes, we may potentially come back. And for the final episode tomorrow, there's a whole bunch of stuff I want to do relating to like looking back over the previous years. But I'm thinking where we're going to actually come back is this final game of the season against Watford. We're going to do the FA Cup final, and then we're also going to do the UEFA Champions League final to finish off the series and potentially secure a treble title, FA Cup, Champions League winning. It's like the Manchester United side. Oh, holy shit, this game is exhausting sometimes. It's absolutely exhausting. If there are any changes, if there are any big things that happen in the Southampton game, we will probably come back and do the Arsenal game as well. I want you guys to see us win the title. But again, that's dependent on other results in other fixtures. So we will see how we get on. Oh, I tell you what, this one's been a doozy. This shirt is lucky. This shirt we must have to keep on at any point, because it is proving to be our lucky omen in this last couple of closes of the season in these last few episodes. If you want to help celebrate qualifying for the Champions League final, please drop a like on this video. It does get us higher in YouTube search results. So many people looking for FM21 content at the moment. If we can get higher up in those results, the channel's going to continue to grow, the community is going to grow, we're going to go on to bigger and better things, and I, of course, would appreciate it a tremendous amount. You can also subscribe to the channel to be kept up to date on the finish of this series, which is going to come out tomorrow, and, you know, our FM21 beta save with Sam Paoli. In the new year, we're going to have our Pentagon Challenge, traveling all around the world trying to win 5 Champions League trophies. A whole bunch of fantastic stuff that you can be brought if you subscribe to the channel itself. But more than anything, the part that I appreciate the most is just you guys watching and your continued support. As always, I've been Sean. I'll see you again tomorrow in the mixer.